So guys, Assalamu alaikum. My name is Engineer Hassan Raza, and I am going to taught you the course with the name Engineer Mechanics, and course code is AGN 2103. And before lockdown we have completed our first three lecture. It almost covers first complete chapter, and today I am going to start our lecture number 3, our week 3 lecture, and we are going to start chapter number 2 from our book. So I have uploaded all the material on your LMS accounts, and then on OpenCourseWare system, OpenCourseWare software, our website, and you can easily download and share with your other fellows as well. अच्छा, इसमें एक और चीज़ मैं क्लियर करता चाहूँ कि जो हमारी बुक थी वो भी मैंने सॉफ्ट फॉर्म में अपलोड कर दी है, दोनों फॉर्म्स पे, और solution of numerical problem as well. So don't worry about any kind of material unavailability, availability, or anything else. Feel free to ask any question, and I am now formally going to start our lecture. It's all about force and forces system. So what is force? An agent which produce or tends to produce, destroy, or tend to destroy motion of a body, a state of a body, is called force. Or in simple words, action of a body on another body is known as force. And in SI units, the system SI system of measurements, unit of force is Newton, and it is a vector quantity. So there are four characteristics of a force. As we know, it's a vector quantity, so certainly it will have a magnitude and direction as well. So magnitude of force may be in its measuring units like 10 Newton, 1000 kilonewton, 100 meganewton, etc. Direction, it has certain fixed direction. Then nature, it may be tensile, compressive in nature. Then point of application, it's also required to describe its characteristics. Point of application mean point at which force acts is known as point of application of force. Then there are many type of forces. I have shortlisted some of these. So first one is contact force, body force, point force, distributed force, external force, internal force, frictional, wind force, hydrostatic, cohesive, and adhesive forces. So what is contact force? Force produced by direct contact of bodies is known as contact force. It may be a pull type or push type. It means the force developed between the contact surface area of two objects is known as contact force. Like we are standing on earth, or any object that is placed on the earth, a certain contact area or surface area between these two surfaces, then this type of forces between their connections, between their contact areas, is known as contact force. And then body force, force produced without contact of the bodies, is called body force. It means in the contact force, the bodies have a certain contact area, surface area, but in case of body force, these are the forces without contact of bodies. It is a force holds together the particle forming the rigid body. Then point force, force acting at a single point or on a very small area as compared to the total area of the object. The total surface area is known as point force. Like hammering or exerting a nail in a wooden bear is known as point force. So next one is the distributed force. When force distributed over a large area, it is called distributed force. It means in case of point force, the force is just applied on a very small area as compared to total area, but in case of distributed forces, the force is distributed or applied on a comparatively larger area. Then external force and internal force. External force means the force applied uh, by a weight on a body is known as external force, while the resistance offered to retain its shape is called internal force. External forces are also known as load, that are deforming forces that are applied on a certain object that deforms or tends to deform, destroys or tend to destroy the shape, original structure of the body is known as external forces or load. And in response of these external forces, there are certain internal forces that are resistance against these external forces are known as internal forces. And the function of internal forces, they regain its shape and tries to retain the original shape of the body is known as internal forces or stress. So action and reaction, Newton's third law of motion, every action has a reaction equal in magnitude but opposite in direction. Then frictional forces, resistance offered during the surface contact or sliding of a surface on another surface is known as frictional force. It means when we are going to slide two objects, two surfaces on each other, that resistance between these two surfaces is known as frictional force. The wind force, force exerted by the wind, is known as wind force. It's a useful aspect of this wind force is the wind energy or wind turbines. Then Cohesion and adhesion forces developed between molecules of same material is known as repulsive forces, and forces developed between two different type of material is known as adhesive forces. Hydrostatic force, force exerted by water on a body when it is obstructed by a body, or force by water in a standing position due to its position on a body is known as hydrostatic force. Like in case of storage dam, or hydel energy is the form of hydrostatic force. So it means in case of dam we are going to utilize the standing water energy due to its position in a higher position. The water flows due to gravity, but it has certain hydrostatic force that is utilized as a hydrostatic energy. Then system of forces. So this was all about third lecture. We are going to start our next lecture is lecture number 4. System of forces. When two or more forces act on a body, they are called to form a system of forces. It means a single force we have discussed, and then there are many types of single forces. Now we are going to discuss system of forces. When two or more forces acting on a system and their combined effect or their combined result will be studied in the case of system of forces. So first one is coplanar, concurrent, collinear, coplanar, non-concurrent, non-coplanar, concurrent, non-coplanar, non-concurrent, like parallel forces, unlike parallel forces, and special forces. So it means basically it is combination of 3 points like coplanar forces, concurrent, collinear. Their combination of two, combination of their opposite, combination of their reactions, combination of their uh, different position according to different conditions. Like first one is the coplanar forces, which forces whose line of action lies on the same plane are known as a coplanar forces. It means these forces are lying in the same plane. Then concurrent forces, the forces which meet at a single point are known as concurrent forces. Like the example, there are three forces F1, F2, F3, and they are going to meet at a single point, and their resultant will be on a single point can be point O. This type of forces that can be combined on a single point is known as concurrent forces. Then the collinear forces, the forces whose line of action lie on the same line, means they are opposite. They can be in opposite direction, they can be in the same direction, but the condition is the line of action lie on the same line. Then the coplanar concurrent forces, it means The forces that lies in the same plane and meeting at a single point is known as coplanar and concurrent forces. As it is very clear from their name, coplanar means same plane and concurrent means they are going to meet at a single point. These type of forces are known coplanar concurrent forces. Then non-coplanar and concurrent forces, there are two conditions. They are going to meet at a single point, but their line of action doesn't lie on the same plane. Then coplanar non-concurrent forces, condition is they lie in the same plane, but they are not going to meet at a single point or at a one point, are known as coplanar non-concurrent forces. Then non-coplanar non-concurrent, so condition is they are not going to meet on a single point, and their plane are also different. So this type of forces will be known as non-coplanar non-concurrent forces. Then like parallel forces, forces whose line of action are parallel to each other and all of them act in the same direction. It means there are two conditions for like parallel forces. The line of action are parallel to each other, and second condition is all of them act in the same condition. अच्छा, इसमें ऐसा भी हो सकता था कि लाइन ऑफ एक्शन सेम होता बट कुछ फोर्सेस अपोजिट डायरेक्शन में होती, फिर वो लाइक पैरेलल फोर्सेस नहीं होनी थी. सो इट मींस देयर आर टू कंडीशन, lie in the same plane, they are parallel to each other and act in the same direction, either in positive, negative, downward, upward, either the direction, and they must be in the same direction. Then unlike parallel forces, the line of the forces, line of action of forces are parallel to each other, but their direction can be different or their direction can be opposite to each other. These type of forces are known as unlike parallel forces. Like F1, F3 has the same direction, F2 and F4 have the same direction. The next one is the special forces. Forces acting in the space are known as special forces. Forces acting in the space but meeting one point are known as special concurrent forces. So it means the forces that are present in the space that are going to be exerted or feel by body in the space are known as special forces, and special forces that are meeting at a single point are known as special concurrent forces. Then resolved forces, and splitting a force into their components is known as vector resolution, and in case of force, the splitting of force into its component is known as a resolution of force. And the resolved forces are known as its components, like Fx is equal to F cos theta and Fy is equal to F sin theta. It means this is the force resolution into its components. So here are some examples how we have converted our force into its components. Then there are some fundamental principles of mechanics. So first one is principle of transmissibility, then principle of superposition, law of gravitation, law of parallelogram of forces. And first one is the principle of transmissibility. A force, it states as a force may be applied at any point on its given line of action without altering the resultant effect external to the rigid body on which it acts. It means the force can be applied at any point on its line of action. It will create the same result or same resultant. If we concern only about the external resultant effect on the body, we can slide the force along its line of action. It means the force can be applied at any point on its line of action. Force can be slide, force can be transmitted at any point. The resultant will be same. The next one is a parallelogram of forces. If two forces acting simultaneously on a particle be represented in magnitude and direction by the two adjacent sides of parallelogram, the resultant may be represented in magnitude and direction by the diagonal of the parallelogram. It means there are two forces like Q and P. These forces are going to represent the two sides of the parallelogram. And if we have to find the resultant of these two forces Q and P, we will just draw the diagonal of the parallelogram. So in simple words, if the two forces represent the sides of the parallelogram, then the resultant will be described by the diagonal of the parallelogram, and the formula is R is equal to P square plus Q square 2 PQ cos theta. Theta is the angle between two forces, and alpha direction is equal to tan inverse Q sin theta over P plus Q cos theta. Sorry. Then gravitation. Law of gravitation states that force between two objects is directly proportional to the product of their masses and inversely proportional to the square of the distance between them. And G is the proportional of constant of proportionality, which is equal to 6.67 cross 10 raised per minus 11 cubic meter per kg square second, and r is the radius between two particles. And if we are going to take example of force of attraction between any object falling placed on the surface of the earth and between the surface, so the formula will be the F is equal to Gm. M is the mass of earth and small m is the mass of the object that is placed on the surface of earth, and r will be equal to the radius of the earth. This formula is used for the force of attraction between earth and any object that is placed on the surface of the earth. And if we have to use the formula for any other two objects, then we can use Gm1 m2 over r square. Then principle of superposition. If two equal and opposite collinear forces are added or moved from the system of forces, there will be no change in the system and the position of the body. So it means just like action and direction, they are equal in magnitude but opposite in direction. And in case of principle of superposition, that if we add or move two equal and opposite collinear forces, it means they are equal in magnitude but opposite in direction. Collinear means their line of action is the same. So it means if we add or move these type of forces from the system, there will be though no change or zero resultant will be observed in this type of systems. So this was all about lecture number 4 and lecture number 5. If you have any question, feel free to ask. Thank you all.